Hello, and welcome to all the grade 11s, your families, members of the Old Boys Association Board, staff, and Old Boys here tonight. Many of you have a family tie with our inductees. Selwyn House School has a rich history, and you, the class of 2021, the 112th graduating class of Selwyn House, are part of this. Tonight, we'll have a presentation for you featuring Josh Weisenthal, class of 1999, and president of the Old Boys Association, and Marianne Clordy and Sharon Cousins from the Advancement Office. By the end of the evening, you should know a lot more about the history of the school and the Old Boys Association. Now, following this, we will all join for a live Zoom chat where you will get a chance to meet the Old Boys Board and then be officially inducted into the Old Boys Association. However, before we begin, I'd like to thank the Parent Volunteer Association and the volunteer parents for preparing some takeout packages that the grade 11s were given yesterday. Guys, we couldn't give you a proper dinner tonight, so we hope you enjoy these. Feel free to snack on these throughout the evening. Grade 11s, congratulations on this milestone in your life. I wish you a wonderful evening. And now I'd like to turn things over to Mr. Josh Weisenthal, class of 1999.
Good evening, everyone, and a special hello to the grade 11s. First things first, what is the Old Boys Association all about? Well, you all may know that Selwyn House was founded in 1908. But in 1953, 45 years later, at an alumni dinner, Headmaster Spears introduced the idea of creating an Old Boys Association. A committee was chosen to draw up a constitution and bylaws. 450 Old Boys were invited to join by way of paying a $2 or $3 annual due to be part of the association. We follow these bylaws to this day, except for the annual dues. The purpose of the Old Boys Association is threefold. One, to keep Old Boys informed about the school. Two, to keep Old Boys connected to the school. And third, to help the school in any way it can so that Selwyn continues to provide the best education possible. So the Old Boys Association began with that initial invitation to 450 alumni. 68 years later, the Old Boys Network counts among it 3,248 active Old Boys in 46 countries worldwide. By the way, at Selwyn House, our alumni are affectionately called Old Boys, but you may see both names used. In 1953, the bylaws laid out a structure for the Old Boys Association Board, which continues to play an important role at Selwyn House. There are 10 to 14 directors, all of whom are alumni who are voted in at the annual general meeting in September. Of these, there are 3 officers, including the president, the vice president, and the secretary. And for continuity, the past president is also a de facto director. The board meets about 9 times per year to discuss how to enhance and assist Selwyn House, to plan activities for Old Boys, and to discuss how to continue to grow the Old Boys network. There are also honorary Old Boys, those that the OBA board feels have merited this status. So not only do Old Boys have a voice through the OBA, we also have a voice on the school's board as well too. Just over 50% of the SHA board is made up of alumni, and the president of the OBA attends the Selwyn House Association board meetings as well too. So now you know a bit about the Old Boys board structure. The question is, how do we keep 3,000 graduates connected to one another and with the school after they leave Selwyn House? This is done through a system of voluntary class representatives. All graduating classes have a minimum of 2 reps. They're pivotal to having an active Old Boys organization. An efficient, creative, and energetic rep can reunite a class and truly help bring together the school community. They help remind classmates about reunions, sporting events, and special events, as well as remind them about opportunities to volunteer. They also encourage them to give back to Selwyn House through the annual giving campaigns and other fundraising projects. Lastly, they remind their classmates to update their email addresses and physical addresses with the school. The OBA board and the Advancement Office are dedicated to supporting class reps of all years, using a variety of tools, including really helpful networking and mentoring tools. So you should know that you are always welcome back at Selwyn House. The OBA and the Advancement Office do a fantastic job of offering tons of activities for Old Boys of all generations, all relating back to the purpose of the association itself, to keep alumni informed and connected and to help the school in any way we can. There really is no excuse not to participate. We have in-person events, and we'll probably keep some of our Zoom events so that we can continue to reach Old Boys worldwide. Now, given the circumstances, we obviously haven't confirmed our events calendar for next year, but we will keep you posted depending as to how the COVID protocols emerge. To begin with, you can be a volunteer at the school. You could be nominated to join one of 4 boards: the Selwyn House Association Board, the Old Boys Association Board, the Veritas Fund Board, or the Lucas Foundation Board. Now those last two offer investment guidance for the school's funds. As I mentioned before, you can volunteer to be a class rep. You can also volunteer at the school to do things like speak at Careers Day or at the School of Life or in the Old Boys Speaker Series. You could be a judge, for example, at a public speaking tournament, and you could be invited to help out with a sports team. We have a lot of social gatherings as well too. There's an Old Boys barbecue in August for our most recent graduates. There's the annual Old Boys reunion in September and the annual general meeting of the OBA, where now you will get a vote. In November, we have Founders Day, celebrating the school's anniversary with the entire community. And then there's school series such as the town halls with Headmaster Downey. This spring, the OBA is launching the first ever prefects reunion for prefects from all years. So the current prefects will definitely be invited to that. I encourage you to stay tuned. There's also the Old Boys Speaker Series, where interesting speakers are invited to address Old Boys, or in some cases, the entire SHS community. And lastly, there's Jamie McMillan's pet project, the Old Boys Jazz Band, that we hope will come back to jam soon. We also schedule several chapter reunions where we can meet in areas where there are a large contingent of Old Boys, which, as you can imagine, is really great for networking. So just know that if ever you move out of Montreal, you're bound to meet an Old Boy in your new hometown. Here are the cities that we typically go to each year. This year, with Zoom, we were able to go global and add some more regions. So thanks to the pandemic, we've actually been able to expand our outreach with Old Boys around the world. And then there are the sporting events. We really look forward to holding our regular sports events again soon, including the Wednesday Night Basketball League at the McCauley Gym, the Old Boys Hockey Tournament in December, affectionately known as the Nickel and Mitchell Cup, the Call and No Class of '97 Basketball Tournament in January, the Spring Soccer Derby in April, the Old Boys Golf Tournament in May, and the Old Boys Tennis Tournament in June. Celebrating Old Boys is also important. Old Boys can be nominated for a number of different awards, including the Spears Medal, the Athletics Hall of Fame, and I want you all to watch for a new award that we're going to be presenting at the Old Boys Dinner in September. You can read all about this in the upcoming issue of Veritas magazine. The Old Boys Board looks forward to hearing from you about any new ideas that you have that you think would appeal to our group. So please, please, please do not hesitate to email me or Mrs. Clordy or Mrs. Cousins in the advancement office. I'll now pass the mic over to Marianne Clordy, Director of Annual Giving and Old Boy Relations, who will tell you more about the tools you can use to stay connected and more.
Hi everybody. Getting started with the OBA is easy. All we need is an email address so that we stay connected. First of all, you should know that your Selwyn email will be expiring a year after you graduate. We would like you to take time to set up a non-Selwyn email as soon as possible if you don't already have one. We'll be writing the class soon requesting your new address, and then we'll be ready to go. Keeping in touch with one another and with SHS. As you know, our Selwyn House website has all kinds of information about the school. Thanks to Mr. Wills and Mr. Trudeau, all the latest stories are there, so remember to check that out from time to time. One area of the website that may be new to you though is the Old Boys section. You may not have visited these pages before, so check them out. You can see the calendar of events and read Old Boys feature stories. And of course, the Veritas magazine will come to your home this summer. We always need stories and news, so please share yours with us. We like to brag about our Old Boys and the interesting things they're doing. Any accomplishments you have in CEGEP or university, new career information, any good news stories, like your wedding and the birth of your kids, but you can always hold off on that for a little while though. There's just no rush. We also have social media channels to keep you informed. There's Selwyn House School Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube that you are probably following now. But we also have a Selwyn House Old Boys Facebook page and a Selwyn House Old Boys LinkedIn page. After tonight, you are welcome to join these and we'll approve you. You can also become Facebook friends with me and Mrs. Cousins together. We are called Selwyn Advancement. One of the best tools we have though is our very own alumni platform called Selwyn Connect. This is a portal for Selwyn Old Boys with 1,032 Old Boys registered so far. That's 1/3 of our entire Old Boys group. As an Old Boy, you can now go to Selwyn Connect and register. Add as much information as you like. Search up an Old Boy or a classmate you may have lost touch with. You can direct messages to Old Boys without having to ask us for their email address. You can add your business information or add that you are looking for work. This year, we invited parents to use Selwyn Connect 2 to expand the networking opportunities. I have to say that the best thing about Selwyn Connect is the mentorship tool. Over 900 Selwyn Old Boys are willing to help other Old Boys. They're willing to introduce others to their connections. They're willing to open doors at their workplace, willing to answer industry-specific questions. Other Old Boys have offered to go a step further, mentor a student, offer career advice, mentor a young professional, review resumes, permit a student to shadow them for a day, offer internships, or meet for coffee. These are such great opportunities for you to search up an area of interest and find experts in that field. One day, you may add your name as a mentor, and as you see, there are many ways to stay in touch, so please don't forget to think of Selwyn and keep us updated so that we can keep you up to date too. Now for the last part of the presentation, I'll pass you over to Mrs. Sharon Cousins, Director of Advancement.
Hi everyone. Guys, I know you're all finished those snacks by now, so I'll try and be brief. One order of business tonight is to determine who will be the class reps for the class of 2021. We'd like to have at least one from each of your pods for a minimum of 5 this year. Any number is welcome though. Here's some criteria to consider if you think you might be ready for the job. And FYI, this job gets no pay except for your undying gratitude. Are you a good communicator? Are you connected on social media? Are you the guy who seems to know everything about everybody? Are you able to get a group together at the drop of a hat? Are you good at promoting activities, guilting or even bribing friends into doing something? Do you want to see your class stick together after graduation? Do you love Selwyn House so much that you want to encourage its continued success? Well, consider becoming a class rep. It's not a lifelong commitment. You'll simply help connect your class to the advancement office, helping us promote events, especially your reunions. We can't be the point people for every graduating class, so that's where the class reps come in. For example, if you know someone has changed their email address or moved or has a new job, drop us an email. You'll let us know the latest news about your classmates so that we can involve them, support them, and celebrate them. We look forward to seeing where life takes each of you after your time as a Selwyn House student is over. For anyone who wishes to volunteer for this role, you can let me know in the Zoom chat later tonight or email Ms. Clordy or me. As I mentioned at a recent assembly, the Selwyn community is a strong one and is generous with their time and financial resources. Thanks to so many Old Boys who have donated in the past, you've enjoyed a great experience during your years at Selwyn House. Now that you've become an Old Boy, you will start getting emails from us. In addition to everything else, we want to keep you informed about the school's fundraising initiatives as well, even though you might not be in the position to contribute just yet. There are 3 types of fundraising campaigns that the school has. The annual giving campaign that raises funds to be spent in the same year. This is for Selwyn's priorities, programs, and bursaries. There are capital campaigns that raise funds for a specific new purpose and target, like a new building, for example. And there are endowment campaigns that raise funds for the long term. For example, establishing a bursary fund and investing it in perpetuity so that the fund can disperse a portion of the investment income earned as a bursary for a deserving student. One bursary fund that the Old Boys are really proud of is the Old Boys Endowment Fund. It's currently valued at $1.5 million and disperses over $60,000 in bursaries every year. These funds have been donated over time, with much of them coming from the proceeds of the Old Boys golf tournaments. And then there is the fundraising for the grad gift, something that grade 11 students and their families have offered in past years for the students who follow. I'm thrilled with the Class of 21's grad gift initiative this year. The Class of 2021's bursary combines the concept of a gift for students who follow with endowment. It will exist in perpetuity and help students get the financial assistance they need in order to get a Selwyn House education. A mailing about this year's grad gift was sent out to all of you and your parents. I know that Mikey Feldman and the prefects are keen to share more with you about this tonight in the live Zoom. The idea of selling a one-of-a-kind piece of art is brilliant. All those who purchase it get a great Selwyn memory to put on their wall. They get a partial tax receipt and the knowledge that they are joining others to create the Class of 2021 bursary, helping students for generations to come. I'd like to thank everyone for your time tonight. We had lots to share, but now it's time to get you guys inducted. This YouTube premiere will now close, and I ask that you take a 10-minute break and come back and click on the Zoom link for the live portion of the event. See you in a few minutes. Don't be late. Thank you.